Okay, so we're going to try some dauphinoise. No, I don't think they're dauphinoise. They're just some potatoes and leeks. So I think that's called gratiné leek potatoes. So all we've done is we've sliced the potatoes after we've peeled them as thinly as we possibly can. I mean, we haven't bothered using a mandolin. Put them in a pan, added a couple of cups of milk. So I'll just show you that much of the milk times 2. A tiny bit of salt, a bit of fresh garlic, and I've also just sort of bunged in a tiny bit of turmeric there because it gives it this nice sort of golden colour, which I think will be quite nice. And we're going to sort of cook those and then layer them up with the leeks and reserve some of the liquid, and then maybe just top with cheese or put some cheese in between the layers. But normally the recipes I've seen call for cream, and I think this is much lighter using milk, so let's see how it turns out. Okay, so this is our lovely kind of potato mixture bubbling away in there. We just added a bit of red chilli oil, as my followers know I am very apt to do, and some red pepper. And we've got the leeks going here. So it was one of those really large leeks from Waitrose, and we sliced it up, washed it, and then just a tiny bit of oil in there, and then a bit of garlic, and we're frying it up. So the idea is to make a sort of set of layers of potato and leeks, but we're going to drain the liquid from the potatoes, and then what you also need is a bit of cheese to layer in between those, and maybe top with a bit of cheese. It says Gruyere in one of the recipes I was reading, or Parmesan, but I mean, I just use a little bit of what you have, see how it Okay, so basically our potatoes are sort of just tender, and what you do is you just drain them, but keep the liquid there, because we're going to use that to make up our layers. Brush the bottom of a dish with some sort of proper olive oil, and layer the potatoes. I mean, I think they're supposed to be very, very even, but I can't be bothered doing that because they're actually quite hot. And then add a little thin layer of the leeks, a little thin layer of the cheese, and a bit of the liquid that you boiled the potatoes in. And then keep going. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice we've changed the dish that we had on there because we didn't have enough mixture, but I reckon this is more than enough for a sort of side dish for 2 people, or a main course if you're going to add a nice salad and some warm bread with it, and maybe some other vegetables. So we finished layering up our dauphinoise, the potatoes, the leeks, and the little bits of cheddar cheese, and then the liquid that we cooked the potatoes in. So we got 2 layers out of that, and then on top of the last layer I just popped in a little bit of cottage cheese in between, because I don't like using sort of lots of kind of fat cheese. That's the cheddar cheese there. And then you can see I've actually got just a little bit of the liquid left, so I'm just going to hang on to that to see if it gets dry while we cook it. And then I put on quite a few sprigs of thyme, because I think the leek and the potatoes and the thyme and the milk infused with the garlic and some spices will be quite tasty. So top with a tiny bit of olive oil, and then just put it in the oven with a bit of fresh black pepper for about 20 minutes. Okay, so here's our dish. It's ready. It's slightly browned on top. The cheeses have all sort of melted into one another. I mean, it's slightly liquidy, as you can see here, but I think that's absolutely fine. That will make some nice kind of gravy for our dry fried beans and our salmon that we're having. So there we have it. Little bit of leek and potato gratiné with the addition of a few spices. So bon appetit.